Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another storytelling journey. Today, we will travel to the blue waters of the Gulf Stream, where an old fisherman named Santiago faces the greatest challenge of his life. This is the story of The Old Man in the Sea, written by Ernest Hemingway, a tale that captures the strength of the human soul, the beauty of struggle, and the quiet dignity of never giving up. So sit back, relax, and let's begin this unforgettable story. Our story begins in a small fishing village near Havana, Cuba. An old fisherman named Santiago lives a humble life. He is thin, wrinkled, and weathered by years under the sun. His hands are scarred from handling fishing lines and ropes, but his eyes are still bright, the color of the sea, full of hope. For 84 days, Santiago has gone out to sea and caught nothing. The villagers whisper that he is unlucky, Salau, the worst kind of unlucky. Only one boy, Manolin, still believes in him. Manolin used to fish with Santiago, but his parents made him work on another boat that brings in more fish. Even so, the boy loves the old man like a grandfather. He visits Santiago every day, helps him carry his gear, and brings him food. Together they talk about baseball. Santiago's hero is Joe DiMaggio, the great American player. The old man tells the boy that tomorrow will be his lucky day. He will go far, out into the deep sea, where big fish swim. The next morning, before dawn, Santiago wakes up quietly. He drinks a cup of coffee, gathers his fishing gear, and rows his small boat, alone into the dark waters. As the sky begins to turn pink, he feels the wind and watches the flying fish glide across the surface. He knows the sea well. He calls her La Mar, the sea in Spanish, as one would speak of a woman beautiful, wild, and full of mystery. He rows farther than any other fisherman, determined that today he will prove his strength once more. Hours pass, then suddenly his line goes tight. Something massive has taken the bait. Santiago realizes that he has hooked a giant marlin, a fish bigger and stronger than any he has ever seen. The marlin doesn't jump or run. It simply swims, steadily, pulling the small boat out to sea. Santiago braces himself. The line cuts deep into his palms, but he will not let go. He talks to the fish as if it were a friend and an enemy at the same time. "Fish," he says softly, "I'll stay with you until I am dead." Day turns into night, and the old man is still holding the line. The marlin tows him farther and farther into the open sea. His back aches, his hands bleed, and his body trembles. But he refuses to give up. He remembers his youth, the strength he once had, and his love for baseball. He thinks of Joe DiMaggio, who played even when injured, and he tells himself he must do the same. A man can be destroyed, but not defeated, Santiago whispers. By the second day, the marlin still hasn't surfaced. Santiago is weak, hungry, and exhausted. The line has cut deep into his hands, but he feels a strange connection to the fish, a kind of brotherhood. He respects its strength, its beauty, and its determination to live. At sunset, the marlin finally leaps out of the water, its body glistening like silver in the dying light. It is enormous, longer than the boat itself. Santiago stares in awe. He knows this is the greatest fish he has ever hooked, and perhaps the greatest of his life. He promises the fish that he will not betray it. He will fight with honor. All night the old man endures the pull of the line, the cold wind, and his own pain. His thoughts drift between dreams of lions playing on the beaches of Africa, symbols of his youth, strength, and courage. On the third morning, the marlin begins to circle the boat. Santiago knows the end is near, for one of them. He gathers all his remaining strength. The line tightens, and his muscles burn. When the marlin comes close, he drives his harpoon deep into its heart. The great fish gives one final leap, then falls still beside the boat. Santiago is filled with both pride and sadness. He has won, but he feels as if he has killed a noble friend. He ties the marlin to the side of his boat and begins the long journey home. As Santiago sails back toward the village, the smell of blood from the marlin spreads through the water. Before long, a shark appears, then another. The first shark, a mako, attacks the marlin. Santiago fights fiercely and kills it with his harpoon, but loses the weapon in the struggle. Soon more sharks come, drawn by the blood. Santiago uses a knife tied to an oar, and then a club. Fighting them one by one, he kills several, but more keep coming. By nightfall, the sharks have eaten most of the marlin. Only its skeleton remains. Santiago is left broken, his hands bleeding, his boat damaged, but his spirit still unbroken. He whispers to himself, "Man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed, but not defeated." When Santiago finally reaches the shore, it is night. He is too tired to even pull the boat in. He leaves the marlin's skeleton tied to the boat and slowly carries his mast up the hill to his hut, just as Christ carried his cross. He collapses into bed and falls into a deep sleep, dreaming once again of lions on the African shore. In the morning, the villagers gather around the boat. They are amazed at the size of the marlin's skeleton, 18 feet long. They realize what a great victory Santiago has achieved. Manolin, the boy, finds the old man sleeping and begins to cry. He brings him coffee and promises to fish with him again, no matter what his parents say. The old man smiles weakly. Though his body is tired, his heart is full. He has proven his strength and dignity. The Old Man and the Sea is not just a story about a fisherman and a fish. It's a story about life itself, about struggle, pride, loneliness, and hope. The marlin represents every great dream we chase. The sharks are the hardships that try to destroy what we've earned. But Santiago shows us that victory is not in what we win, it's in how we fight. Even when he loses, the fish, he never loses his courage or his spirit. That's why he's truly victorious. Hemingway's story reminds us that life is a sea, vast, deep, and full of challenges. We all have our marlins to chase and our sharks to fight. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But what matters is that we keep rowing, keep fighting, and keep believing. Santiago's journey shows the beauty of human endurance, the quiet heroism of the soul that refuses to surrender. The old man was dreaming about lions, and that is how the story ends, with a dream, a symbol of life's endless courage and hope. So that was The Old Man and the Sea, a story of strength, faith, and the unbreakable human spirit. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more storytelling sessions. And remember, no matter how deep the sea or how long the struggle, never give up on your marlin.